Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is about the legendary Abilimon tier list for pure PvP only, and this is for Endgame for patch 3.4.11. So this tier list here will recommend you or give you my own suggestion based on my own usage and my own opinion on them for leveling up their Abilimon. So within this tier here, we'll separate into a few parts, which is the highest priority. For power rival room, what is this part is like in beat bout content and knockout content. To determine who take the action first is not just Rezo, it's also their skill up. Your legendary Abilimon skill up will matters their who take the order first. So let's say we both have a R6 Chuyao, then we both have the same Divinate, we have the same boost. Then what is the factor that is affecting the action is gonna be who have the legendary Abilimon, because the legendary Abilimon will increase the power. So situation like, let's say you are chasing for speed, or let's say you are chasing for a certain wave turn to take first, then the skill up here matters for the power only. It's not because you skill up it will do more damage or more effective, it's purely just for the power content. Then good to have here is like, I won't say it's very important to have, but if you give it, it's good. So mostly here will be something like DPS. Then without Steel Strong, I don't think that you need to invest Abilimon for that Esper to make him strong as at his area or his way to be strong, but you don't really have to invest it. But if you want to invest, it's fine, just that my recommendation is doesn't need to invest, but it's already strong enough. Then waste here is just purely waste in my opinion if you are PvP focused player only. Okay, so let's start. So first one, Sienna here. So after seeing Sienna changes like being a speed leader, being an AP down, I would say the skill up wise is actually good to have, because the skill up on Sienna will actually affect her chance to trigger the stun, and will also benefit her to have a faster rotation. Like in PvP, the rotation wise doesn't really matter when you're fighting when you're using a speed cleave, because it's either you kill them or you get killed, right? So it's more about who have the more value for investing their Abilimon. Like investing the Abilimon will affect your power or DPS wise, then your DPS will become stronger, then that's worth it. But if like some Esper like Sienna here is more like a support Esper and a function Esper, and if the legendary Abilimon inside her kit affect the trigger rate, then it's worth the value. Okay, Ollie, in my opinion, is without Steel Strong. Like if you're using Ollie in a Mavis team here, I don't think you really need the Abilimon to make Ollie workable for PvP content. I don't really think so. Embla wise, I also don't think so is needed the Abilimon. Like if you're playing Fushi Embla comp, I don't think the Abilimon affects too much on Embla. Okay, then for Armor wise, I would say it's the highest priority if you're using Armor for your PvP content. Like the damage wise, everything, the scaling actually affects a lot for Armor, in my opinion. Like also Armor can be used in a lot of PvP content, like KO, beat bout, triple threats, RTA, basically every single PvP content you can use Armor. Just depends on your team comp and depends on your enemy team comp. Sujia, highest priority, nothing much to say about her, it's just being strong. Liam as well is going to be highest priority in my opinion, because Liam is not just a support, it's also a DPS when he have his Abilimon. Fengshun, highest priority as well in my opinion. Still one of your main AP pusher and supporter in PvP content environment. Elif here I would say is a waste in my opinion. Like even though when you go until R6, I don't really think that Elif is going to be a very strong Esper at endgame. I could be wrong. I do see some player use Elif DPS, but at least I don't see that often at the moment. Then for Chuyao, in my opinion, is just for the power. Like I don't think the skill rotation for Chuyao really matters that much, but I would say it's for power, for the rival room power. So it can take the action first, but I can put somewhere highest priority and for the power somewhere here. Valeria here I would say is a waste, just because that Valeria is not going to be very strong in PvP content, so I would say it's a waste. Nora here I would say is good to have. Okay, I think the tier should be something like this, right? So yeah, Nora here I would say it's good to have. Like having the Abilimon on Nora actually make her DPS a lot more higher, and Nora can be actually used in triple threats and also in RTA. Knockout wise can be your 4th or 5th team, but beat bout not really in my opinion. Then Brewster here I say without Steel Strong. Like the situation when you're gonna use Brewster is usually when you just left a few attack attempt in triple threats, like you don't really have a lot of other better DPS, then you will use Brewster. And because the current PvP meta is not very suitable for Brewster to shine, so I don't think the Abilimon really worth too much to invest if you're just a pure PvP player. Leora wise, I would say it's a waste. Slon wise, I would say it's good to have, but have to be a high reso Slon to be actually usable. Donna wise, I would say is the highest priority if you're using a Buyu meta. Donna will benefit you, and without a Buyu meta, Donna can also one-shot a lot of Esper. If you are playing in high tier knockout, you will see how annoying Donna is, because Donna's immunity, Donna's bong, all those stuff. Then Jinchu here, I also put it at highest priority, even though there's Armir to counter Jinchu now, but Jinchu is still being one of the best true damage dealer outside there, and also the best pair with Mavis. So it's still going to be highest priority even though he have his counter. Okay, Fushi wise, I would say it's either highest priority or good to have somewhere here. Depends on the usage, but I would say it's good to have. Then Fatal Sister here, I would say it's good to have. Like, Phantom Sister here, the healing. Yeah, I think Phantom Sister here can go for without Steel Strong. Like, if you're using Phantom Sister for the revive or the when Phantom Sister die or revive all those kits, I don't think the legendary Abilimon really needed that much, in my opinion, for the meta. Then Sakura, highest priority, the healing changes a lot, and especially when you're using Sakura, it's usually in a tank team, and when you're using a tank team, you rotate the skill a lot more often. So I would say it's the highest priority. Then Elaine here, I would say it's a waste for endgame PvP. Yinchuan here, I would say it's a waste. Nama, waste. Ophelia wise, waste. Nam, Armored wise, waste. It's because they are waste. It's not because they are not strong. They are just okay. So, Armor can go up because you don't need the Abilimon. It's not, they are waste here. It's not because the Abilimon on them is not good. It's just because they are not good in the PvP in the first place. Okay, then Intisa, waste. Then Clara here, I would say good to have for the AP push and the CD reduction. Abigail here, I would say it's good to have as well, because if you're using her as with Moriyama in Point War, the S3 is needed. Sally here, highest priority for tank. Gabby here is the highest priority as well, because since the Yuhime changes, Gabby's value actually went up a lot. And so if that case, it's actually for power, because if there's two Gabby here, you want your Gabby to actually take the action first to cast the S3. So leveling up for her rival rune actually matters for her to take the action first. Okay, then Lian here, I would say is the highest priority as well, even though she fell off a bit. Hailey here, I say without Steel Strong. Yuhime here, I would say it depends. Like, if you want to build Yuhime as a DPS one, it will go for good to have, or I would say it's without Steel Strong. Yamato wise, I would say it's good to have. Like, the Abilimon matters a little bit for the DPS. The true damage DPS actually able to kill some Wuyu. Hilda, without Steel Strong. Yuran, I would say it's a waste. Tangshan, I would say it's a waste. Ife, waste. Fubisuki here, I would say without Steel Strong. Momo here, highest priority, best true damage DPSer. Changji, I would say it's a waste. TA here, I would say power up for the rival rune just because you want to be faster. Osana here, I don't see Osana in PvP, right? So waste. Zora, waste. Gaius, waste. Camille, waste. Fatima here, I would say it's good to have if you are using Fatima for your PvP content. Because if you're using Fatima for your PvP content, the skill up damage is very, very important for Fatima. Like, without that, Fatima is already Fatimid. Right? If it's already Fatimid and you don't give her legendary Abilimon, then she's Fati useless. Okay, then Mavis here is a waste. I would say without Steel Strong. Not until waste, like you don't really need it. Eden here without Still Strong. Iliad here I would say without Still Strong. Tricky here I would say good to have. Farah here I would say good to have. Lucas for power rival rune, because if you are facing for a speed situation, the power actually matters for Lucas. Then Archibald here I'll say without Still Strong. Jin Yu Yao without Still Strong. Biotina Waste, Liling Waste, Height Waste, Javid Waste, Genie good to have, Louis Waste in my opinion. Right, okay, then let's see. Now we go for the Shimmer, right? So 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈𝐌𝐻𝐍 I would say should I go for highest priority? 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈���� is very strong, but yeah, I think good to have, not until like the highest priority for 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈𝐌. Okay, then Cecilia wise I would say without Still Strong, not really needed the skill up I think. Okay, maybe good to have if you use Cecilia. Then Everett here I think is good to have as well, because of the buff, because of the damage reduction he's able to provide from his S3 upgrade. It really matters. Toland here is for the power, the rival rune power, because if there's a same Toland skill level, it matters that who take the action first. Then Petros here is the highest priority if you really want to make Petros very strong for his DPS output. Nusi here I would say is for the power rival rune. If there's both Nusi situation, you want your Nusi to take the action first, then for power rival rune. Shimmer, then Una's here is also like both Una's situation, your skill up actually matters to take the action first. Wuyu here highest priority. Moriyama highest priority because of the one-shot mechanic. Anna highest priority, even though she have a lot of counter now, she's still being one of the best Esper that can do a lot of team comp and also very flexible. Shenpin here I would say without Still Strong, because usually when you play Shenpin, it's a cliff team, and when you play cliff team, you don't really need the skill rotation, you can just like one-shot them. Then Raven here I will push up to highest priority. I think if you're using Raven as a cleave, the passive actually matters in my opinion. Taver here in manual content I would say is good to have, but in auto content I would say waste. So I would say without Still Strong. Is it without Still Strong? I think he can still one-shot player without the skill up, right? Then Iki the highest priority. So personally this is my own PvP tier list for Endgame, just based on my usage and perspective. So for those Esper that is waste here, it doesn't mean that putting ability mod on them is totally useless. Like, so let's say if you're a player who is enjoying Elaine to kill Anna, or if your player still enjoying Height or enjoying Gaius to hit them, then maybe this tier is not accurate for you, because this is based on my own usage, how the PvP meta is and how valuable the ability mod is used on them. So this is just based on my own tier list here. You can feel free to disagree with me. I think it's not that accurate, because every meta or every point war range actually have a different meta. Like if we are talking about within top 22, point war 22 to 24, player that's using like Wuyu everywhere, then the slot value actually went down a lot. But if you are talking about like KO matches and triple threats where you can freely use your slot to counter those Esper that is not Slon's weakness, then Slon's ability actually matters for DPS, something like that. So this tier list you can just take it with a grain of salt. Like, feel free to comment down how do you guys think about it, which part you disagree with it. You can feel free to let me know. Okay, but this is just my own opinion, my own point of view for PvP ability mon tier list. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Rosas15, Nocult Regili, The Bluer Chilean, Cammy, thank you so much for the support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈𝐌𝐎𝐍, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Choni, Von Hexa, Rawson Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈𝐌𝐎𝐍, Eric Mendes, Carragrin, Riku Fred Iris, Calamity, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for the support. And that's not all, also special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Special thanks to Ziggy, Calamity, 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐋𝐈𝐌𝐻𝐍, Valento Tai Asia, Code Wilderness, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for the support and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.